Hi everyone, welcome to a new video. Today we'll be looking at the quadratic formula, which is a way to solve the quadratic equation. As we know, the standard form for the quadratic equation is ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. The quadratic formula gives us the solution to this equation or the roots of this equation. And the quadratic formula can be written as x equals to minus p plus minus b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. So to apply this formula, you mainly need to identify the value of b, a, and c and then plug it into this formula. So first you need to make sure that the quadratic equation is given on the standard form, and then you just extract the value of a, b, and c and plug it in. So let's look at an example. Say we have this quadratic equation. As you notice here that this is not actually in the standard form. So we have here 2, we should have 0. So first let's make it on the standard forms. We can write this as x squared minus 3x, and then we can bring this to the left hand side. So we'll get minus 4 equals to 0. Now, with this being on the standard form, it is easy now to solve this quadratic equation. We need just to identify the coefficient. So we can see that a is 1, b is minus 3, and c is minus 4. If we plug in this in our quadratic formula, so we'll have, this is our quadratic formula. We just plug in the value. So minus b minus 3 plus minus b squared. So we have minus 3 squared minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is minus 4. And this is divided by 2 times a, which is 1. So we can write this as minus 3, that give us positive 3, square root minus 3 square. Whenever we are squaring a negative number become positive, so this gives us 9. And then we have 2 minus sign, here a minus and here a minus. When you multiply 2 minus, that give you plus. So then we have 4 times 1 times 4, that give you 16. We already take care of the minus sign. And then 2 times 1, that give you 2. So x can be written as 3 plus minus square root of 25 divided by 2. Now this can be written as 3 plus minus square root of 25 is 5. Or we can now write x as, we take the positive sign, 3 plus 5 over 2. Or the other possibility is that x is equal to 3 minus 5 divided by 2. 3 plus 5 is 8 divided by 2 give you 4. So x is equal to 4. Or 3 minus 5, that is minus 2 divided by 2, give you minus 1. So these are the root or the solution to the quadratic equation. You can check my channel to see the other method that you can use to solve the quadratic equation, and then you can compare the solution. One thing related also to the quadratic equation is the quantity that we see under the square root, which is this one. So this quantity is useful to determine the nature of the roots for the quadratic equation. And that quantity is called the discriminant. So this is d, is simply the quantity under the square root, which is b squared minus 4 times ac. Based on the value of this, you can determine the number of real roots for the quadratic equation. So if this is positive, you have 2 real roots. If it is 0, you have 1 root. And if it is negative, you have no real roots. So this can solve many of the standard questions that you may get that ask you about the number of roots. So in that case, you really don't need to solve get the numerical value of the root, you just simply need just to determine the value of this discriminant. Based on that, you will be able to determine how many real roots we have. So example of these standard questions. So this is one of the typical questions that you may get. It's asking us how many real roots does this quadratic equation have. Now, they are not asking for the numerical value for these roots, but how many. So in order to solve a question like this, you need to simply just use this discriminant, and to do that, we just need to determine the coefficient again. So the A coefficient here is 2, the B coefficient is -1, and the C coefficient is 4. If we compute the discriminant, we'll have b squared minus 4a, which is 2, times c, which is 4, and this gives us 1 minus 4 times 2 is 8 times 4, that is 32. So this one is minus 31. Now this is negative. We know if it is negative, there are no real roots. So the answer will be no real. Finally, if you find this video useful, please give it a like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn the notification on so that you get notified about new content. Thank you for watching.